Previously on Canadian Computer Collector.
Bring me the computer!
6,500.
What? What the
MSRP on the monitor is $39.99.
What?
Got the amber lamps. Oh.
Hey gang, thanks for joining us for another Canadian Computer Collector video. As you may remember, earlier in the year, we started the Millennial Guesses series. We had a Millennial Guesses of the Year of Classic Macs, and then we did part one of Millennial Guessing the Price of Classic Macs. And there was quite a bit of footage of guessing the price, as you may have guessed. So here's part two. I'm not going to waste too much of your time, so let's get right into it.
This is a Mac 2.
2CI.
Right. And it's from the early 90s when computers were like, it seemed like between about $1,000 and $2,000.
Well, I should
This
correct you
one-
there. It's 1989 was the year on this one.
I'm going to guess $11.99.
The SE30, also from 1989, was $6,500. And this is the second most expensive computer on the entire list. So the retail price of this computer was $8,798.
Computer prices from this era make no sense.
You know what? You know what it was? I forgot to do a very crucial part of my investigation.
Yeah, you can definitely smell that there's $8,000.
So
in
guess
there.
what the MSRP would be now based on that price in 1989?
20 grand?
$19,099. So what do you think they're selling for now?
Well, I mean, if you stuffed it with $8,000,
I struggle with this one. Like, I'm gonna stick with $200. It just doesn't seem that interesting.
Yeah, you know what? These guys sell for an average of $300 to $500, depending on condition.
I'm just thinking for like, okay, $8,600 in the late 80s would have gotten you a decent mid-sized car,
A really decent one.
which would also be worth about what this is worth now.
You're better off buying a car.
See, nice CD drive with the little brushes on the side. It's 2007. I actually was just getting into PCs in 2007. I built a computer at that time for like $1,500, which was a decent computer. But I feel like Apples were always more expensive in this era. So I'm gonna say that this bad boy was $18.99.
You are so close, it's crazy. $16.99. MSRP equivalent in 2021, which is only 15 years later, is $2,268.
2007 was 15 years ago, eh?
Yeah.
I remember saying 2007 was an amazing year because Iron Man and Transformers came. I was so hyped on those things.
I remember you
Remember
were
when
very
comic
big on
book
Iron Man.
movies were novel? What's this computer worth now? Well, it's got some purple airbrush overspray on it. If I had to guess, it's Intel, so it's still almost usable, but not quite. I bet you this is $150.
So this is a 20-inch model, and
So am I.
in decent condition. They sell for about $150. So the range I put down is 50 to 150, but in reality it's more like free to 150 because these are just starting to come out of the free phase.
Yeah, I can see it. Like, they're almost usable, but not quite anymore.
They're really nice looking. I mean, quite frankly, the white shell with the acrylic over top of it is really nice. The only thing you got to be careful though is you could grate cheese on the edges like that. They are sharp.
Yeah, I feel like I know this era of computing.
Yeah, well, this is when you got started.
Yeah, exactly. The stuff from before this is just wild.
Here we are, Macintosh Classic, guessing the original retail price.
So, if I remember correctly, this bad boy was made in 1991. I'm never even in the right ballpark with computers from this era. It's floppy drive? I think there was one in here. I like it. That would be disgusting. I'm guessing $5 grand.
Between $999 and $1,499.
None of this makes any sense.
I know. Well, when you think about the SE30, which intro date was 1990, the SE30, which came out a year before this, was $6,500.
Yeah, so I thought, it's come down a little, $5,000.
Well, exactly. Yeah. So
No, not 1,000.
you
I
had
bet
the
you
right
that-
idea.
So this was probably revolutionary then. People probably bought a lot of these. They were like, oh my god, computers aren't like.
There's a lot of Mac classics out there.
You know what? Like, so in today's money, that's what, like 2,000 and change?
It's between $2,000 and $3,000 basically. So what do you think they sold for or are selling for now?
These they just don't seem that valuable. Let's say 100 on the low end, 199 on the high end.
Yeah, you're pretty damn close. So what we have on average eBay sold for a working machine is $140 to $500, and the reason that the range is so high is like the ones that sold for $500, they had all accessories and stuff with them too. So like, if you just wanted that box the way it is right now, you'd probably pay $100.
It just seems like it's the sort of computer that everyone had, so there's a lot of them around.
Let's get on to the next one. We're getting close here.
Back with my buddy.
G4 iMac, 17-inch. What do you believe is the MSRP of this machine?
This thing seems like it was pretty swanky, but I feel like just based on the way it looks, it was also supposed to be like affordable swanky. So part of me is like $2,200, but I'm gonna say $1,899.
$19.99. Yeah, very good. Very good.
Job.
Little Price is Right action there.
I could like puppeteer this thing all day. This is a very satisfying, like, this is so smooth.
Oh, it's counterbalanced like perfectly.
Yeah, I'm starting to get why people like these things.
So the original MSRP, $19.99 US dollars. Currently, that would be worth $29.91.
Computer, take me to the year 1999. I bet you these things are pretty worthless. I'm going to say that one of these things is like $50 to $75.
When I started buying them only 2 years ago, that's exactly what they cost. Right now, they're $300 to $500 used, and with a box, over $1,000 for the 17-inch model. But also think about, like, for the viewers, think about the machine you have right now. So for example, if you have a G5 iMac in your basement and nobody uses it because it's too slow, if it still has the box, just hang on to it. These iMacs were not worth that much money only 2 years ago. All right, on to number 1 million, as it feels with this list of computers. So we have the Graphite G3 iMac. As discussed, this one in particular from
Year 2000.
but the series originally started in 1998. So what do you think it cost originally?
So this one was from 2001.
2000.
I don't think these things were that unreasonable in price. I bet you it was $9.99.
$14.99.
Okay.
Which in today's dollars from 2000 now, not that much difference. The $23.43.
In 2000, $1,500 was actually what you would spend for like a mediocre computer. So I feel like this actually is probably a decent amount of computer for the money in that era. I didn't sniff it.
As we've learned.
I just hugged it. I thought, you know what? This seems like a very huggable computer. I was wrong.
More huggable than luggable. It's got a handle. It's just not very light.
They're collectible, but they don't seem like they're rare or super desirable. So I'm gonna say in like 150 low end, 250 on the high end. So $200.
Yeah, you know what? I have average eBay sold between 100 and 250. I know locally these things are probably about $100 in most cases. They used to be free even like a year ago because they're just big.
I do really like how translucent this is because you can see, like, you want to see what a CRT monitor looks like inside. There you go. And you got some giant heat sinks in there too.
It's our buddy. The Workgroup
Oh.
Server 6150.
It's not a
66 meg.
MacBook. The Workgroup server.
What do you think this computer is worth? It was from 1995, so perhaps that'll factor into your decision. We got a 3.5-inch floppy, an optical drive,
Yep.
and a hard drive.
Smells like.
Spray paint.
Yeah. What's that smell? It's from my childhood. It's painting Warhammer. What do I think this thing is worth? You put the effort into restoring it, so I feel like it's not worthless. Brand new server hardware like this is probably pretty expensive, so I'm gonna say $3,500.
A bit of an explanation here. It was not easy finding prices for this server, This one did not have a listed MSRP on most websites that I found, so I had to comb through archived tech magazines.
Yeah, it sounds about right, because this would have been sold to companies.
Yeah, so according to the July 17th, 1995 issue of Networld, I believe this is worth $2,999 MSRP.
Okay, I could see that if you could option it up, like just justifying why I'm wrong.
Well, and here's why I believe that was the price, is because in the article they said Apple has an offering of networking servers available now under the workgroup server line. The low end is like $29.99 and the high end is like, something ridiculous. And they said starting the line up is the 6150-66. So I'm just taking that to mean $29.99. So that in today's money would be like $5,300.
That sounds like something a company would buy. Servers are still very much in that price range. I am going to guess that nowadays that this is worth about $500.
None of them beyond this one have sold recently on eBay. I bought this one locally for like $150. So there's two 60s, workgroup server 60s, that are unrestored that sold for 150-ish on eBay. But then there's one, I think it was a 6150-60 that sold for $800. So $500, probably the right guess.
Yeah, but you restored this one.
Yeah, fully restored, I'd probably want a little bit more than $500. If someone wanted to get into one, you're probably looking at between $150 to $500. The other thing though is that workgroup servers in general are so hard to come by. Like you could comb that search term for 2 weeks and not see any changes or anything.
Okay, so we have a workgroup server 95.
Yep.
Built in 1993. I feel like workgroup servers have always been expensive, so I'm gonna just guess that this thing, I'm gonna throw it right back up there again, $3,500.
So this was another one that was really hard to track a price down. Same reason. So according to the May 1994, I put episode, issue of InfoWorld magazine, in an article where a very similar situation occurred where they said, these are the new offerings, here's the range of prices. This one is the highest level, only sold to educational facilities and certain corporate clients for $10,269, which in today's money is basically 19 grand. And this thing is exceptionally rare. I haven't seen another one online or in person ever.
So I guess I'm gonna guess what it's worth, but
Well, so this is the server model of the Quadra 950. So the Quadra 950 looked exactly like this. It just didn't say Workgroup Server 95 on the front. It said Quadra 950. Those right now. Oh yeah, you have to guess. Yeah.
spoiler man. I'm gonna say $350.
Okay, so again, I've never seen another one to date sell. So I'm not 100% sure. I looked up Quadra 950s that sold. Some of them with a monitor are selling between $1,300 to $2,000 right now. So this thing might even be worth more than that.
When your garage needs a server, right? Like all the computers in your garage got to connect to something. In general, for best SCSI performance, attach devices to SCSI connector on PDS card.
All right, so I hope everyone enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. Actually, looking up the information alone was just really eye-opening for me. How about you?
I thought I was going to do better. I was shocked by how much some of these things cost, and then I think, oh, okay, well, stuff was really expensive, I guess that, and then it turns out, no, sometimes it just really wasn't.
I remember our dad said our first PC at his house was $5,000. So all computer companies have had an era where they charge like as much as a car, basically, for a computer.
I also got really close to a lot of those, and the inside of my mouth tastes like old dust, and it is awful. Yeah, I got it in the old cookie duster, and ugh.
Well, isn't that lovely?
The cat.
So, thank you once again for joining us on another Canadian Computer Collector. I just want to remind everyone out there, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. We've got lots of restoration videos and lots of just general retro computing fun going on. If you want to help the channel out, don't forget you can donate a coffee with the link below in the description to donate a coffee.
Buy Me a Coffee is a great way to donate. More of the money goes to the creator, unlike some other platforms that take bigger cuts. So, more of it's going to a cool guy who can't stop farting.
That's right. And if you can't stop farting, then you've found your home. I'm Leonard Nimoy.